Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a full review on two new knives from a new knife company that I am really digging. I'm really excited about this company, and that company is Cavill Knives. So here is one of their boxes. Comes in this awesome sort of freight container looking thing. This is just a product sheet I accidentally stuck out of there, but look at that. How cool is that? And then it comes with like a sticker of the knife, a cloth, a hank. It comes with some other shit in there. It's really cool. It's got good packaging for sure. But the coolest thing is, you know, the knives, specifically this one right here, the Denka. This one has absolutely blown me away. I fucking love it. There's no other way to put it. I love this knife. And it makes me really excited to try some of their other stuff, which is out of my wheelhouse. You know, even this is out of my wheelhouse. This one right here is the Bucardo, and it's a little more normal compared to their other stuff. And not necessarily my style, but I'm still going to do the review, and I still think it's a dope knife. And they have 2 or 3 more knives they just announced that are all different styles. One's like a folding pakal. One is like a folding kitchen knife. I can't remember what the other one is. Just really cool stuff. I definitely resonate with the Denka the most. So let's hit this one first. I want to note it does not have a pocket clip. So that's going to be a negative for a lot of people right out the gate. So keep that in mind. These are available. So both of these, as of right now, are available on their website, cavillknives.com, I believe. You can go check it out. Link is down below. I don't have an affiliate link or anything. They didn't give me these for free. They sent me these to review. I got to pass them along. I did buy one of these, and they gave me a discount, which amounted to like $100 off. So I did get a little bit of a discount, but I wanted it because I love this knife. So this one, just so you know right off the bat, for the people who are here for that, $328 over here, $268 over here. This one has Mokutai and shit, and this one does not. It's M390. So I see why the price difference. And that new folding pakal is like $188. So pretty cool price points there. No clip. I carried it in a clip slip. So this came in a Lancelot leather slip. Didn't come, sorry. I carried it in this slip. Doesn't come with anything. But it fit perfectly in here. So you can buy a clip slip from Lancelot Leather. He makes really cool slips. You can get the clip slip from OCD for EDC that they have for Jack Wolf knives on their site. That one fits it. You could do whatever you want, right? You could just carry it in your pocket. That's how the designer does it. But I've been carrying it in that temporarily, and once I get mine, which is in the mail, I already have a slip on the way from my good buddy Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks, which, big shout out to Troy. He posted today that he's going to be the sole maker of slips for Birdvis knives, which is just really cool. He's come a long way, and I'm really proud of him, so shout out to Troy. But I got a slip on the way for this, and I cannot wait. It's going to be fire. So, the Denka. This is designed by Tiguass. I think that's how you say it. Tiguass. Or, yeah, UASS. Tiguass. There's his logo. You've probably seen it before. He's done some designs for CMB. He's done some designs, I believe, for Kubi, maybe. I don't know the full roster he's done, but he's done designs for a bunch of people as far as I know. He's got really unique style and design, and they're all different. Like, I see a lot of his designs, and I'm like, that's cool, but not for me. You know? But then I see stuff like this where I'm like, ooh, that just speaks to me. So, it's cool that he's different, right? Nothing he makes really is like, ooh, that looks like X. And, that shit's hard. So it's really, I respect the shit out of it when you see somebody like that, or Arcane Design, or Sharif Manganis, who just have a totally, Elijah Isham is a great example, who just have a totally out of this kind of world design language, but yet can make really good knives, Like Isham had some wild stuff, but the McKenna, You know, that was one of the best knives you could get in the price range. Loved that knife from Civivi. So, anyway, the Denka here is a small knife. So it's a very small knife. You're looking at 2.5 inches, I believe, of blade. Let's grab this puppy right here. You're looking at 2 and somewhere between 2.5 and 2 3/4. So whatever that is, I suck at rulers. I just said that. But yeah, it's true. So that's what you got there. And then on the handle, you've got 3 1/4-ish. So very small knife over. I mean, you can see right here. I mean, that's a 6-inch ruler. So you're looking at, it's basically the ruler right there, 6 inches. It's a 6-inch knife, basically. So it's smaller, but you know, it feels bigger in a sense when it's in your hand. And we'll talk about that ergonomically, and that's definitely what she said. So you have a liner lock here. It is a steel liner lock. You have Timascus, they've been calling it, but I swear it's Mokutai. It's got like gold in it. You know, it's got like goldish bronze in it, which would tell me it's Mokutai, but I don't know. I'm not an expert. Maybe this is Timascus because that doesn't have any of the gold, you know, but that's Mokutai. Actually, come to think of it, those do look like different materials. That's weird. But you have this steel liner lock, titanium frame. Now, these are brushed titanium. Look at those scales. I want to zoom in on that for you. Look at that. Absolutely stunning work. I gotta say, if somebody said, dude, this was made by Riot, I'd be like, I kind of believe it. It's that good to me. It feels CKF-ish to me. It feels Wii-ish a little bit. Somebody said concept on the other one I have here, so who knows? They might use different shops, and they could also be doing a lot of it just like, you know, sourcing parts and then doing it themselves. So, you know, it doesn't matter, but the point is, quality-wise, it's way up there for me. At least this example, and we'll see when I get the one I bought, if that one's, you know, the same. Because this detent, man, if that detent's the same or better, I'll be fucking stoked. If it's not, I'm going to be like, damn it, you know. But, you know, that's how it goes. The centering is slightly off to this side, ever so slightly. But I have not adjusted this or touched it in any way with a tool. So there's no play, no rock. It's a freaking tank. And, you know, so it probably could be centered up if you just, you know, took it apart, cleaned it, put it back together. I'm sure you could tune it up. I do not know the bearing situation. When I get mine, I will probably change them out unless it's like this and just, I mean, there's no reason to even mess with this knife. And sometimes you got to leave well enough alone. I'm not good at that. I'll probably end up doing it anyway, but we'll see. The uniqueness of this knife comes down to the blade and the thumb square, right? You have a Mokutai or Timascus thumb square, which is really cool. And then you have this sort of, what is this, sheep's foot? I mean, technically you could call it a reverse tanto. Because it does have like the two kind of distinct edges, right? And they almost look like edges too. Like you could probably sharpen that if you really wanted to and go full on crazy with it. You know, you never actually touch that part. So you could probably, you know, but in your pocket. I guess if you had a slip though, I don't know why I care. Okay. Thumb square is awesome. That is very unique, right? And it, in pictures, in video, everything, it looks like, how could that work? Like, it's got to be stupid uncomfortable. You got, like, square corners you're hitting, right? Why not a thumb disc? Well, I actually talked to the designer, and he said he has, like, an Emerson, and he actually had a custom one of these made for it. And the thumb disc, he kind of, like, slips off of, I think he was saying. And I have the same problem. I hate thumb discs. They're probably my least favorite deployment method. So I'm glad he did this, and I'm so surprised at how good it works. I really am. Just had no idea it was gonna work this well. So We'll talk about that when we get to the action and stuff. But look at that blade with the hole in it. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, can you flick it? Because if you can't, it's going to bug the shit out of me, right? You can kind of, like, if you really try, you know, you can dig your finger in there and kind of get it. I think I've gotten it like once or twice, but it's not there to be flicked. That's what this thumb square is for. And trust me, I'm one of those people who would feel the same way, but because of this square that's so just like obviously there and captures your attention, you don't even think about the hole in the blade, honestly. And because the square works so well, you don't need it. So that's my personal take on that. So aesthetically, it's fucking fantastic. I think it's one of the coolest designs I've seen in a long time. Super unique, yet useful, and just beautiful, in my opinion. You know, it's not going to be for everybody, so I get that. Now, if you talk about ergonomics, this thing is an absolute masterpiece. You have this area right here, which is basically a choil, right? And then you have just a neutral handle. And what happens, because there's no clip and there's slight contouring, is your hand just freaking melts into the... I mean, it literally just melts right here. And then, at least with my hand, large glove-sized hand, my thumb lands right there. And it's literally just the perfect situation. Like, I could not be more comfortable on a knife. It just is fantastic. And then you want to go into a pinch grip, which is what this knife excels at. You want to open boxes? You an Amazon warrior like me? You're going to love this knife. Because you can pinch the out of this hole. That's what she said. And then, I mean, you can do all types of shit with this, okay? Absolutely love the blade on this thing. The ergos are astoundingly good. If you are at a gas station on Friday night and you find yourself in a pinch and you got to whip out your Denka, it'll work. You don't have a guard, so be careful there. But you got a good landing spot here. You have really good ergonomics, again, because it's so neutral and it has that flat. You have really good ergonomics for all this ninja stuff that nobody does. So it's good in like all the grips. I mean, you can grip it like this. You could grip it behind here if you want. It's a little small then, but I can grip it like that. I can grip it like this, obviously. I can grip it like this, no problem. Got some shit like that. I mean, it's just so good. The stop pin is garaged, which is really cool. So it sits down here at the end of the handle here, and then watch, it'll pop out of here, come up and around, boop, and then it locks up back here. So it's a garage stop pin. Really cool. Very Wii-like. That's what gives me the Wii feeling on this, because that's something Wii likes to do, and they do it well. Again, centering slightly off, but, you know, it's okay. It happens, and I, again, didn't even try to adjust it, so, you know, if anybody ever takes this one apart, which, you know, it's a pass-around knife, shouldn't be happening, maybe we'll find out if you could center it up, but I'm sure you could. And as far as I can tell, their customer service, their warranty, all of that is very good. Now, I can sit here and tell you how cool they are and all that. Time will tell, you know, what their reputation is in the knife world, but they're off to a fabulous start for me. It's literally probably the coolest new knife company I've seen in a long time, especially if you don't count, like, you know, YouTuber or community type companies that have started, you know, where it's kind of like a design and, you know, this is like a knife company. They got 4 or 5 models they're dropping at once kind of thing, you know. I'm pretty sure they're trying to be like a Wii or a Vosteed or whatever, you know what I mean? Big difference between that and what I do. So, all right, that was centering. We talked about ergos. Carry is phenomenal. I mean, I'm telling you, I just dropped it in like this, carried it in my front left pocket, and I loved it. Had no problem. Never bothered me that it didn't have a clip. You just slide it out of your slip. I'm so used to slips at this point. And this has a clip. It's literally just like having the knife in your pocket with a clip. Like, people need to understand the power of a clip slip. They're amazing. So, carries phenomenal. It's not heavy. It's not thick. It's not long. It's not, like, it just carries really well. You know, it does have the thumb square, which can be a little bit awkward, you know, and I'm curious how that's going to be in an actual, like, slip. But in here, it's fine. I mean, a couple times I couldn't get down low enough to, like, pull it out. But it was when I was, like, in my truck or something, you know. Like, if I was just standing or sitting on my couch, I had no problem getting this thing out. So that's sounds. Oh, no, cutting. Sorry. Cutting. Just kidding. It's M390. So I don't know what that says. Denka M390 is my guess. Denka M390. Nothing. Contiguous, and then have the Cavill logo, kind of cyberpunky there on the blade. The cutting on this, in my opinion, is very respectable. You do have a hollow grind, a very shallow one, but you have to understand it's a very short grind to begin with, so it's good they did a hollow. And then you have not super thick stock to begin with, right? Like, what are we talking about here? .12, 0.13. So nothing crazy. And then obviously you have a short grind, so it's not going to be like, you know, let me grab something. It's not going to be the sliciest or thinnest behind the edge, but the way the ergos work, and sorry, that was me. The way the ergos work, I was trying to get fancy with all this shit. I can just hold it like normal. I mean, it's plenty sharp for me. I have no qualms about it. Actually, we could, I guess, technically, because it's not my knife, I don't want to go crazy or anything, but let me just grab the old strapperoonie. Because I did use this quite a bit, and now you can see how it lands on a, I guess how it would land on a stone. Now, you have an easy access T6 right here to take off this square, which is probably what I would do if I was going to sharpen it. Now, I'm just throwing it on the strop for a second, so I don't think it's necessary to go that far. And the thumb, or the square, almost guides your angle. Like, it almost hits the angle you need. Just lift a little bit and pull down. So, but if I was using a stone or something, I would, which I wouldn't, you know, you guys know me, I don't sharpen, but I would venture to guess it'd be smart to take that off so you don't accidentally scratch the shit out of it. But so we just hit that a couple times. Hit this a couple times. All right. Let's hit my jeans. Yeah, that feels sharp as shit. So then we go to the piper. Yeah. I mean, that went from having a little bit of tooth to it to a little bit of grit to it to being razor sharp. And that could be out of the box. It was really good, but not, you know, not as sharp as I could get it with a slight strop. Or it could be that I just used it a bit, because I did. This has been in my pocket for, I got it last Friday. Today's Tuesday, so 4 or 5 days straight. It's been in my pocket, and I've used it for whatever I've needed. So it's opened a lot of Amazon boxes, and it's cut into USPS priority boxes a few times and whatnot. Probably just took the, you know, it took the polish off of the edge or whatever you call it. So stropping it just brought that back a little bit so it could do the S cuts. You know, the paper test is the best. All right, so cutting, I think, is really good. And the reason for that is it's small. It's a 6-inch knife. It's meant for these little utility cutting tasks. It's not meant for doing a ton of cardboard cutting. You could probably get away with it, but that's not what it's meant for, right? So I don't need this to be stupid, thin and slicey. Now, I'm going to check the edge just to see. I'm going to venture to guess it's somewhere around 18 to 20. 21. Now I'm right. Let me try to. 13. Let me 15. Let's see if I can get this better. $15. I'm gonna go with 15 on that measurement because I got, 14, 13, 15, and that first time I think I just went too low, and it feels great. So anyway, no qualms about the cutting. Is it gonna be, as slicey as a TRM Atom? No, right? But it's gonna be plenty for what you need, and they did a great job on the grind and everything. Look at the belt satin in the right areas. I mean, it's fucking gorgeous. Carry cutting sounds. I mean, it's one of the things I really like about this knife. It sounds phenomenal. It's got a good snickety on the close. It's got a really loud pop on the open. Just money on sounds. Gotta give it an 8. 8 out of 10, maybe a 9. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's one of the things that drove me to it. Sounds are important on knives, in my opinion. Like the other knife we have, decent open, a little bit of a thud on the close. This, whew. So, action / fidget factor, and that's where this thing, it shines in a lot of categories. Ergos, in a lot of categories, it shines on ergos. Aesthetics, it shines. Carry, the fact that it's so thin and whatnot. But the action and fidget factor is just, it's something unique. It has a thumb square. I almost said disc, and then I stuttered. It has a square, but, it doesn't feel like every other thumb stud knife. Thumb stud knives don't excite me. This does. And I think the square is part of that. It's just different. And the designer talked me through it a little bit because after the first day, I was like, dude, my finger's kind of raw. It kind of hurts because I'm hitting these corners. And he's like, are you using the meat of your finger? Are you pushing the meat up into that square? And he's like, I've never even thought about that. I guess that would hurt. And he's like, it's meant so you use your nail. So if you put your nail under that, right? Dude, it is so good. On the thumb, you can't, you see, I got my nail under there, and it works great. That's just not that comfortable for me. It works fine, but my natural is to just push my fat right here and pop it. And it doesn't actually hurt at all. The thumb doesn't hurt. The middle finger was where I was getting a little raw, right here, because there's a good bit of pressure there. So as soon as I switch to the nail, which is actually very natural and comfortable, I don't feel it at all. It's wonderful. And I can do that both left-handed and I can do it right-handed. And then the thumb, righty, thumb, lefty, no problem. I haven't tried any weird shit like doing these moves or anything, so can't tell you. I have done the index finger a couple times, I think. I kind of got under here like this and did that. I suck at that move, but I was able to do it a couple times, and I wristed a little bit like that. Not for me, but see if I can do it lefty. Ow, no. Okay. So anyway, you just have to learn the square, and once you do, it's so good. I know some people are going to try it, and they're going to be like, ow, my fingies, and then be a little bitch about it and talk shit on the knife. Fine, but I don't think it's a problem. And I'm probably one of the biggest bitches when it comes to, hand strength. Not strength, but, my fingies hurt with this or that. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't bother me, I think, everybody else shut up. Just kidding. All right. So that's awesome. The detent, woo, so good. Can I feel it? No, Not with a normal flick. You know, if I try to flick straight out to the side like this, yeah, sure, I could fail it. But I mean, listen, it's got a good snickety. It takes a little bit of pressure. You can almost hear a pop. I mean, it's really crisp. Pop. Closing action, it took about, I don't know, 20 flicks. I don't remember out of the box. You guys have seen the unboxing by now. I don't think it was falling to my nail, but now, I mean, and like I said, it's locked up like a tank. There's no side to side, up and down, nothing. And it just swings down and then a couple smooth shakes. It's not guillotining the rest of the way, but I don't think it needs to. Not every knife needs to be a guillotine. It's fucking fantastic, guys. So this knife gets a freaking 10 out of 10 from me. It's my favorite knife this year. I think next to the Quiet Carry 9, these two are my favorite knives of 2023 so far. And then I just got this, but this guy's sneaking in there too. So we got these three knives are the top knives of 2023. I'll do a video shortly on Q1 knives of the year for me, but these are it probably. There's not going to be many. So these three are fantastic. But that's the level of knife we're talking about, in my humble opinion, right? So take that, you know, grain of salt if you don't agree with my tastes. The clip is going to be a downside to a lot of people, but give it a try, guys. Hit up Troy. Get a slip made. Get a clip slip made by somebody, or just buy one. They're so good. Tuya sells a really good clip slip. Just trust me and try it, okay? So that's the Denka. Absolute hot fire. Really. Just, oh, man, so good. And then we had the Bucardo. And this one is an in-house design by Cabell Knives. I think that and the fact that there's no Mokutai or Timascus is the reason why this one's $268 versus that one being $328. This one is a frame lock, titanium clip, titanium body, and M390 blade. This one's coated. I think there's one other version of this that's like all bead blast. And that reminds me, this one has this version, which is it's either a black tie or like a super dark bronze. Either way, it looks blackish. And it has that brush finish. And then it has a satin blade. And I think there's another one that's also satin. Could be a stonewash. And then it has a raw tie brushed finish to it. So very similar, but one's kind of like a tux and one's like an all gray. And this is kind of the same, except this one has a black blade. And I did see one with a black blade. It was a prototype maybe that Tiguis had. But I don't know if they are selling that one yet or whatever. I don't know. So those are the two you can get. You can get two different versions of this. The Bucardo. So this one's another one that is super ergonomic. I mean, this thing is just, man, just melts into my hand. You got that nice forward choil, banana handle, Nessmucky. It's kind of like a half Nessmuck, you know what I mean? Very comfortable in a normal grip like this. You can pinch grip it really well and get up here. Nessmuck blade shape, not really my favorite blade shape. If you're going to give me a blade shape like this, it's not the same, but I would prefer a Schillen cutter, I believe they're called. And this is more of a banana, where this one's more of a in and out, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but obviously you can see the difference. One curve from tip to tail, where this one kind of comes in and then back up. I don't know. By the way, this is the Vosti Nightshade with the hole. This is one of the best budget. This is, man, the Megaron's really good too. But this is one of the best budget knives of 2023 so far. So that will probably be on the list I was talking about earlier as well. If you can get one of these, get it. I have an Amazon link for it if you check my video on this. Man, home run for $50 or whatever it is. All right, back to this. So aesthetically, not my favorite. I just am not a Nessmucky guy. But build quality's there. It's cool looking in general. I like the idea here. The fuller was a good touch. The little bit of gold on the accents is very nice. That always is nice to have a little pop right there. I think it would have been cool to have a gold pivot collar as well. but I don't know. You have a back spacer here, which I forgot that here. You have the Damascus backspacer, sorry, with the lanyard hole for those 7 people. And I think for this knife, it makes perfect sense to have that because it doesn't have a clip. A lot of people will just lanyard it and then drop it in their pocket. This one does not have a lanyard spot. I do not like the clip on this one. It's long, and because of the long and the thin, it's very, it just feels kind of light on retention. Now, I will admit, it works really well. I carried this one for 2 days, I think, because it came a couple days later. And it carries very well. The weight's good, all that. So, really no issue with the clip. I just don't like the idea of these long, kind of thin. I don't know. It's just not my style on the clip. I like something that's short and works really well. Like, I don't know if it's a great example. I don't have any Ashers here. But like the new Asher knives are kind of just like short and deep carry and out of the way, you know. And even on a milled clip, I'd prefer to see that, you know. But I get it here. It's good not to have a clip be right by the relief cut, so that's smart. Now, the way the clip is set up, it doesn't help for lefties. Even though it's long, it doesn't help me get to that fuller. But right-handed, you can get to that fuller no problem. At first, it took a minute for me to get it, but I can flick it pretty much every time now. I think part of that is they tend to put too much oil on the knives from factory. I gave them that feedback. I think they're going to try to tone it down a little bit. I get why they do it, but they don't need to, you know, go ham on it. Like, just put a light coat. We can wipe it off once and be done with it. But, like, when it takes a day in pocket to kind of wear all that oil out, it's kind of weird. But you have a flipper tab that works really well. Detent is perfect. I mean, you got a good light switch. And then you have a good, well, it's kind of a push, like a light switch push button. So if you try to just push button it, it's not going to work. But if you kind of pull and then push down and in, like that, it does work. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's different than a full light switch. Like, light switch, push light switch. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a push button necessarily. I'm all over the place with this one, so just bear with me. Again, looks good, all that good stuff. This one has a nice thin profile on the blade. Geometry looks good. I'm not the plunge grind guy, but it looks like it ends well, like right there. So you can see it basically right there. So you got some room there before the edge. This one, you have that choil, which is interesting, but the plunge comes up to, ooh. Yeah, this one's close. You can see they already kind of have a smile on it. So that might be something that bothers you sharpening folks out there. You can see, let me see if you can see it. See how it's already kind of got that line right there? And you can see where that plunge, thin, it's like right there at the edge. So, I'm guessing that's not awesome, but I personally don't care. If my knife has a little bit of a smile, it's fine. Especially if I'm not the one sharpening. Action, like I said, is good. I did notice on the close, for the first day or so, it did not want to pass by the detent ball. It kind of just hung out up here. Oh, see, now it's just passing every time. It kind of hung out right here. And then I would have to push it past or keep holding and pushing like this. But you can tell it broke in. So now it swings past and then you shake down. You can get it to swing all the way down. Very good action. It has very smooth, buttery action. Both of them do. They both feel very smooth. There's no like grinding. There's no nothing. It's just very smooth. They're not guillotines, but they're, you know, very smooth shakers. Again, left-handed, this is not going to be your guy. It's pretty hard to get the reverse flick down left-handed. Ergos are fine and everything, but just not, you know, not the best. You can use the flipper, though, so if you're a flipper-only guy, there you go. Reverse grips on this one, yeah, not really comfortable at all. try the choil. This kind of works, but I'd rather have that Denka in my hand. This grip is okay, but you have the flipper tab there. This is your best grip right here, and it's the one you should be using. Pinch grips, again, really good. You don't have a very low tip, but it's okay. You know, it's kind of spear pointy. I guess you do, but because of the way the blade shape is with the belly, it makes it to where it's harder to get to that tip. So it kind of makes it feel like more of a higher up tip. We can measure this guy, and then I think we'll wrap it up because I've talked way too long. So back here, $19, $14. Let me double check that guy. $14, $23. Hold on. $17. So let's just average that guy out around 16 or 17. I mean, like 17 probably, which I think is perfectly fine. It's about the same as that one, right? 15 to 17. That's pretty much what we expect these days, to be honest. If you're getting more than that on knives, you know, it's almost an oddity at this point. Just notice this loosened up on me. Look at that. What is that? Am I just hand loosening this? Hold on. Yeah, look at that. Just coming all the way out. Still centered, though. Huh. Interesting. Lots of oil in there. Look at that stuff. Pretty normal. Wow. Still got like really good. It's impressive. It's almost centered without the freaking pivot screw. All right, let's get this sucker back in. T8. We didn't talk about hardware, so let's do that too on both. It's got very best techie hardware, I'd say. All right, got a D-shaped pivot. Good to know. Which it should be, considering there's a logo on the other side. It's spinning a little bit in there, so it makes me wonder if this side might be a little loose. Rock solid. And there we go. Now it's back to not falling all the way. So it probably just loosened up a little bit as I was, you know, carrying it. No play. Then there we go. So I could just Loctite it where it is and we'd be good. But, I mean, you can get it with no play, great action, dead centered. So there's nothing to complain about there. The fact that it came loose is not a big deal. I mean, that's what knives are supposed to do. And would you rather it do that and then just Loctite it where you want it, or have it be like fucking overly Loctited from factory? I know the answer to that personally. So on the hardware, T8, I'm pretty sure it's T8. I'll try a 10. I doubt it would be a 9. Yeah, T8. You might be able to squeeze a 9 in, but so you got T8s here, T8 there, and then this one you have T8, 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 T8. So you're T8 all around on these. That's what we want these days. So they're listening. You know, they're a new company. They know what people want, and they're doing it. Guys, these are fantastic knives. It's a good company, and I like supporting new up-and-coming stuff, and I see that here. So I recommend Cabell Knives. You guys check them out if you're interested. Link down below. Again, I don't have an affiliate link or anything. I just think they're genuinely awesome. And I always think that even if I recommend an affiliate link, So, yeah. Anything else I want to note? The only other thing I want to note is on this guy, you can see there's really just that one little liner that goes about to here, swoops around. So it's just a very small liner that's your lock bar. So they're not taking up a whole side in here with steel that's weighting anything up. So the steel lock bar doesn't bother me. When it's just a small inset lock bar like that, it doesn't bother me at all if it's steel. It bothers me when it's like a full, and I love this knife, but it bothers me more when it's like a full liner, you know, a full-sided liner in there. This one even has it on both sides. So, you know, that's when it bothers me for that price point, but it doesn't here. So anyway, Cavall Knives, check them out. Let me know what you guys think, of course, down below. I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.